Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Camp Patton Family Compound. Oh, sorry, Gray Man Prepping. I'm sorry, all things started going wonky here on my screen here and confused me there. So, welcome to Gray Man Prepping. It's time for Survival Saturday, and tonight's topic is if my computer will work. There we go. Down the rabbit hole of spy software programs. Oh man, I think I might be infected by a spy software program. That's what's going wrong here. How's everybody doing? All righty, so let me hop over here and say hi to everybody. And yeah, first one in today was Geeky Gardens. Yes, you did make it first. Then Walt Rogers in with I'm not here and you didn't see me. Done that a few times. Then Shady Hill Homestead's here. Phelan Clan Wolf. Chef Tech is here. Kaylin Strain is here. Suzanne Galley is here. Ryan the Gamer is here. And that's what we have popping up and saying hi. According to the numbers, we got 4 or 5 more that are out there just watching. Please, if you're lurking, just check in and say, hey, lurking. And that way YouTube will actually give me the watch time credit for it. They have been shorting people watch time credit left and right like you would not believe. All righty. So let me say, so this topic has been, I've been trying to get it up, and every time I have it up, something comes up and I have to cancel on a Saturday. And so I'm finally getting into it here. There is so much more interesting on this that is so friggin' scary. And it's major corporations that you think you trust. So let's pop over here and take a look at a few things to kick it off with. All right, so phone apps. That's where everybody thinks, or nowadays, that's where everybody thinks the spyware software is coming from. People hacking into your phone, putting trackers on your phone, stuff like that. Oh, Butch Graves is here, and Mad Chick Acres is here. So Mark's doing double watching. And there are a lot of people out there. I know this is going to shock a lot of you. There are a lot of people out there who don't do a lot of crap on their phones. They have their phones for making phone calls. And they don't do a lot of, they're not searching the web on their phone. And I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, there are a lot that do that. One of the reasons why is because they're not paying an arm and a leg for these unlimited data programs from the cell companies. So they just get the minimum stuff, and they hardly ever, if ever, use the web on their phones. But there are the others that, their whole life is on their phone. And it's sad to see. You can see these people walking around with their phone going, just going along with their phone, just, walking into things, bumping over things, freaking out when they lose signal. Here's Mark.
I was just spying on you.
Yeah. And and what's interesting as far as a lot of these apps are, a certain company used to say back 20 years ago, we don't get hackers on our software for our computers. Yeah, but you sure do on your phones now, because they realize it's big business to sell the rights for people to make programs, apps to be loaded onto these little Macintosh phones.
The peach.
Yeah. Randy's here. And so And Jeremy's here. Tennessee Tactical One's in the house. Yeah, I've seen some great videos. People walking through the malls on it and just walk right into the big old fountain into the splash. Phone totally wet. They're totally wet. And Lone Prepper's here too. So what's interesting on the phone apps and stuff, you can get a phone app for one thing, and you don't realize it's doing 10 other things, including tracking where you're going. This morning, I bought a used car, a four-wheel drive, actually all-wheel drive Nissan Murano, and so I could have four-wheel drive. You're driving the snow on the highway up to Idaho Falls and back. And I was talking to the guy, and I were sitting around there just talking after the deal's all done, because they're waiting for the tech to come out and take the GPS unit off the car. So they install GPS units on all their cars in their lot because they've had some people trying to steal them. And that way, the car leaves the lot in the middle of the night. Bing, all bells and whistles starts going off. Not in the car, everywhere else. The police get a report. All right, this car was just stolen from the parking lot automatically. And so what he was talking about that, and he says they actually had the company he was working at, car company he was working at before, had an app type thing. When someone came in to was looking to buy their car and stuff, they'd try to get their email from them. As soon as they had the email, they could track their phone. And they would then find out, oh, this guy just went over there to the Ford dealership or went over to the Dodge dealership. And they could call them and say, hey, yeah, this guy's a looky-loo wandering around. Just, the used car dealership would give each other heads up on this. And it's like, I look, I said, good luck. You can have my email. I ain't going to tell you where I'm at. And he looked at me and go, my phone's a blank slate. It's been scrubbed by DHS. There's no tracking. Cell towers can't track it. But that was one of the last things I'd got before I left DHS. So.
And there's no way for us to do that, but just you. I guess I have to work for the government.
No, there's ways. If you know a really good tech guy, a really good tech guy who works with computers and the phones and the tablets and everything else, he can go in there and shut everything off, scrub it, and everything else. It takes him about an hour and 45 minutes. Because, if I was to pay for that now, it'd probably be like $300.
Yeah, well, it could be worth it.
Yeah.
All I know is I was using my phone. Yes, my Pear phone, or my Peach phone. And I was with my daughter up in Maine. I was on the turnpike all the way up, and all the speed pass lanes where you stay to the left, you can just keep on going. It gets you on your easy pass. And every time I got near one, and my daughter's a geeky, she's the Best Buy girl, and Geek Squad. And I'd be coming up on one, and the GPS would tell me, stay left. I was like, okay. And it didn't occur to me until I'm like, why does this thing? And I talked to my daughter. I was like, how does this thing know? Because I don't have an app on my phone for the Easy Pass. There's an email in there somewhere for, my bill or whatever. But I was like, how does this thing know I have an Easy Pass? Keeps telling me to stay left. And like clockwork, the next one said stay right. And I wasn't getting off an exit. And she looked at me. I looked at her. She's like, yep, that's what they do. And, you talk about things, and I did this with my sister. We decided to start talking about water heaters. Now everybody's phone is going to start giving them ads. On-demand water heaters, tankless water. We started calling out all these names within minutes. She pulls up her Facebook page. Every other ad was a tankless water heater from Ream, from Renai, all these. And she looks and was like, it listens. They listen to everything.
Yeah. Well, the other thing about the car I got today, let me go ahead and shrink this down before I get back into the rest of the thing. So the car I got today has way too friggin' blankety blank stuff on it. And hang on, my daughter just texted me.
Too much tech.
Yeah.
Can the boys come over now? No, I'm on the phone.
No, I'm going to tell her live right now. One of the kids is going to ask to come over. She knows I'm on a live stream. But I mean, it's got, it's, one of the things I hate, I've already started to hate on it. I got to go into the book and figure out how to turn it off, is the adjustment on the car seat. It's got memory. All right.
Oh, when you hit you hit the remote, you have two remotes. You hit the remote to unlock the door and everything adjusts itself to wherever you left it last using that remote.
Well, the problem is, I'm the one that drives it. And as soon as I turn it off, it starts pushing the seat back. And crap, I don't need this.
Oh, it wants to make it easy for you to get out because you're fat and lazy.
No, I want the exercise. I don't. And the thing is, it wasn't putting it back in exactly the right spot.
Of course not. Calibration's off. You better take it in and have it recalibrated with the computer.
I'm just gonna have the automatic adjustment turned off, because there's a way to do it. I just got to go open up the book and do. Oh, there it is. That's all I got to do. Push, push, hold, push, or whatever it is to turn off the adjustment on the seat.
Yeah, reminds me of the movie Christine, where the seat just starts going forward and keeps going forward and forward and forward and crushes you into the windshield. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
here's
the thing scary about it. It has the cameras on it for front view, rear view, mirror views.
Yep.
Side mirrors. Okay. So when I go to back up, it puts up the rear view. Yep. But then, on one part of the screen here, on the other part of the screen, it shows an overhead satellite shot.
Oh, yeah, it does an AI type thing of what's near you. Yeah, it's kind of freaky.
And it puts everything in. It's like,
it's got to be a 2022 or 23.
No.
No? Earlier?
Older.
17?
18.
There you go.
At least I think it was 18.
Of that mess.
But, yeah, it was, it's just like, and it's, and it's like, okay, if this is truly an overhead shot, which could be with some of the software.
No, it's not.
Google and the others, but
it's an AI generated of the top of your car versus the side views and the rear view. And yeah,
it took my hand sticking out the window.
So take a piece of paper, big piece of paper, and put it on the roof before you put it in reverse and see if it sees that. Yeah. If it does, you're being watched.
Yeah. That means everybody in a Nissan with all the parking moving stuff is being watched.
Yeah, by the insurance
probably
company.
Means everybody in Toyota, Subaru, Saab,
Ford,
Chevy, Ford. Yeah,
Ford does it. If you got like a boat or a camper on the back, it'll actually show you the back of the camper, even though you don't have a camera back there. It just knows, and the side view mirrors and things. It's just yeah.
Well, the other thing is too, along the same line with a different car thing, and I've talked about it before and just passing on here. I think I did it on the Midnight Ride. Ford put in for a patent on a program that will automatically call the police if you're speeding.
No, there was one where if you didn't make your payment, they could put it in limp mode and turn on, just get you enough to get you off a road.
Yeah.
And that way, if you didn't pay your loan, they could basically shut your car down.
Yeah. Well, this is one for if you're speeding, it'll notify the police that you're speeding.
Nah, that's illegal. And that didn't pass. They tried. They can't get it.
Yeah. And the other one was to, if you had the cameras on it and stuff, it would take pictures of speeding cars speeding around you and notify the police.
Yeah, that never made it past a bill.
But the technology's out there.
Oh, sure it
and
is.
Whether or not they slip it in is going to be something else you got to worry about.
Well, it used to be you can get those little plug-in things you stick in your OBD2 port for your insurance company to show you're a good driver, and it monitors. It doesn't have a camera, but the new one's probably
the little thing you plug into the network.
Yeah, the OBD2 port. And you plug it in there, and it monitors speed. Your speed and turning, your roll, your yaw, your acceleration, your braking, and you can drive your insurance costs down. They don't tell you it'll drive your insurance costs up. If you have to hammer down to get onto the highway, it's like, oh, sorry, you speeded and you accelerated too hard, so your rates just went up for the week.
Yeah. So there are several of them going. Cars, but not the manufacturers of the cars. There has been a lot of YouTube videos, Instagram, everything else, newspaper articles, online stuff about people using the little tracking chip from the Macintosh.
The fruit
phone,
company. Yeah, that's it. The fruit phones.
That
tile.
Well, they find it stuck in the gas tank thing. They'll find it up by the windshield wipers, tucked down in there. They find it everywhere where someone's been tracking them, and people notice that there's this car following me. It's the same headlight that's turning where I'm turning, and they of course, if they're smart, if they see that and they've gone to the police department. And the guy and police have come out and they've here it is. Yeah, someone put a tracker on your car.
Yep. See, old technology was bad too. Back in the day with Fords on like the Taurus, the Thunderbirds, anything that had a trunk. What's up, Howie? And anything that had a trunk. What Ford in their infinite wisdom did is when you pop the trunk open on the left-hand hinge bar or the pivot bar, they put your 5-digit code for the keyless entry. And when people found out about that, they would literally hang out in parking lots during Christmas time, watch people come out and be on the left side of the car. When they open their trunk, there's the number. Now, that was the factory number. You couldn't change that. You could add your own number. You could add up to 5 or 10 new numbers for different family members. Mm-hmm. And people would walk away. They would literally walk up to the car, punch in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then button 9, trunk pops open. They would take everything out of there, shut the trunk, and walk away. Yep. And Ford did that for like 3 years. They did that. They finally got, it was too late. Those cars were already out there, and there was no recall, but we were always telling customers, there's your code number, note it somewhere else, peel it off, scratch it out, something, because they used to be stupid. Well, now they're still stupid, but that's beside the point. Now you can buy a reader. You can buy a frequency reader. So when somebody comes to their car and hits the unlock button, it reads the frequencies. Yeah, this will freak everybody out. And as soon as you're gone, they just go in their computer or whatever device they bought on eBay, and they can punch it in, boop. They can open your car. And if you have keyless start with the button, they can punch the code in there, hop in the car. They stole one of my work vehicles from a guy. He had both keys in the house, and the neighbor's camera caught 3 people walking up his driveway. All of a sudden, the lights flash on the car because it was unlocked. They just hopped in and drove off.
Yeah.
And it's the technology. If they have technology to do stuff like that, what else do they got?
Well, like mine, it has, if I get near, if this is within 3 feet of the car.
Yeah, you touch the door handle, it unlocks.
Yeah. Yep. Or I can use the buttons. Or same thing with, I can just walk up to the trunk or the hatchback and just touch the button, it'll unlock. Now, I tested out. I put this about 8 feet away, wouldn't let me in the car.
Yeah, but if you leave it in the vehicle, it won't let you lock it either.
Yeah, that's the other thing, too. But You got to say, the batteries on these things last for years and years and years. The only good and bad thing is for this, if it goes dead, it's got a key in it.
Yep, most do.
Yeah. Well, now I got to go to Ace Hardware or wherever and get a copy of just the key so I can keep it elsewhere in case I lose the whole thing. I can still get in the car and drive away.
Good luck with that. Is that a standard key-looking thing, or does it have bumps and rods in it?
It looks like a standard key.
Okay, that's cuttable.
Yeah, this is cuttable.
Not like the new ones from Ford where they're not.
Yeah.
You have to have the code and send it into Ford, and they send you a key.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's one of the things I've hated for years on Ford. There'll be a single key in the pickups. Doesn't matter if it's a regular cab or a crew cab, and there'll be a single key on the driver's side. There's no longer a key on the passenger side.
Oh yeah, they only give you. They save.
You got to use the electronic. Well, what happens if the electrical door opener isn't working?
You get a rock, and then you call your insurance company.
Yeah. But hey, checked off. How's it going? All right, let's look at some other things here. Next one here. And so yeah, you can set up track phone. You can track your phone. Install application for free.
Nothing's free.
Yeah, you install the application for free, and if it's an aftermarket one because you don't trust the main company, guess what? They can be selling all your information and everything that's on the phone too. So you got to be careful on what it is you're getting and how people can track your phone. The phishing, personal data mining and stuff, people stealing off your laptops and stuff, especially if you're going out and you don't want to change your settings on your laptop. Stupid people. When you go into a Starbucks or an internet cafe, and people just leave it open, and people can, if you leave it open, people can go ahead and get in there. You got to treat it like, private, do not share, don't do this, don't do that, because a lot of the newer computers, guess what they default to? Open.
Yeah.
So you go in there, everybody it's in there can see your computer pop up on their bar there. Oh, what has he got in his? And they go digging into your computer. No, it's not, because it's not a result of regulations. There's no regulations for it, for most of it. And they're doing it because the companies want to do it and gain information.
Yeah, and like if you download the app in your phone for, say, I'll just pick one, not necessarily true, Target, and you have the Target app, and you walk into a Target store, they know what aisle you're in, they know where you're at, and they can start dropping little advertisements in your phone. Hey, these new pink kitty mittens are on sale, and then they look at your histories and all this other stuff they look at.
Yeah. All right. So who are the ones that try to install software on your phone and your computers and stuff?
Big companies, big tech.
No. Thieves.
Buttholes.
Mm-hmm. And pervs. These are the ones that are these are also all the ones trying to put the trackers on your car. And make sure what else I got coming up here. Yeah. And the because these are, besides corporations, the ones that are doing it are the thieves, the pervs, and the ones that just want to screw people. Here on YouTube, the trolls.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I did this to one of my neighbors. probably 5 times back when people started getting routers and had the Wi-Fi and all that stuff. This is probably got to be about 18, 20 years ago. Well, I had my router set up. I had software on it, and so they could only log in at certain times. And then I realized they were still on their computers at night watching videos, and I had software to keep an eye on that, which made me a little angry. That anyway. And I was like, wonder where they're getting it from. So I went out front with my computer, turned it on, and just did a search on Wi-Fi. I had 3 neighbors that had unlocked Wi-Fis. And it was literally called, like, router, whatever the name was. Well, I knew how to get into a router. It was easy. If it's not locked, just punch in, 0.0.0, whatever it was. Punch that in there. Boom, I'm in their router. I went and renamed it to change your password and lock this down, jerk, and then put some random password in there. And every one of them, I swear, they kept going back to Best Buy because they didn't know if you could, I guess, manually push a button to manually reset it. They probably kept going back to Best Buy to get a new router, and they finally told them, like, you may want to, put a security password on there. So finally, my kids couldn't get online anymore at night. But of course, they're pretty savvy, so they figured out how to run a cable. One of them bought their own modem, plugged it into my modem, and ran a secondary and they hid it. So you couldn't, I couldn't see it until I saw the physical. I'm like, what's this extra wire? It was underneath the desk. I'm like, really? I unplugged it. What'd you do that for? I'm like, you need to go to bed.
First, you didn't ask.
You're 12.
Second, yeah. Sorry, I'm just checking up on the side chat here. When the last time I went back to California, I took a one of the other laptops so I could have 2 laptops there just to try to read stuff and everything. And my main laptop, when they put in a new router there, I had to get the router number, enter it in. The newest laptop I took in there. Oh, do you want to do it automatically? And it searched, found the password, decoded it, and linked it to the router in the house, which means anybody around can do the exact same damn thing.
Something to be said for wired computers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not including the EMF and all that stuff being given off by your
Wi-Fi. Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the things that it's because my wife is getting tired of the DSL there and wants to get to one of these other upgraded internet things that's just internet only, doesn't have the TV on it and anything else, because she's not watching. The TV she watched, she can do live stream off either the Fire Stick or off of the Hisense TVs, the Roku. So she doesn't need to have the cable TV. And
the Hisense TVs with the built-in microphone and camera, those?
No, the ones without the cameras and microphones.
Well, that you know. Well,
they have the microphone so you can tell it and stuff, but they don't have the camera. The cheap ones, the $88 ones. The ones that it doesn't pay them to put the camera in.
I still got my 42-inch Magnavox flat screen I bought. Crap, that thing's got to be 12 years old now. Before they had all that crap on there. No smart TV, nothing. No rooms for chips and things. Just a couple HDMI plugs and RCA. If it still has RCA jacks on it, you're usually in pretty good shape.
Yeah, well,
except the new ones.
I didn't know that they had hidden on the Hisense. They have hidden on it the ports so you can plug in a Wii in it with all the RCAs and everything. They're hidden on it. They're not on the sides where they're hidden down on the bottom where you can't get to.
Got to pop the cover off.
No, you don't have to pop the cover. You just got to hide it. It's up in there, and so if you look at the back, you're not going to see it. You turn it upside down. Oh, there it is, going up its butt. And so my wife had sent me this way sent the Wii with me one time, and I couldn't find the things to plug it into any of my TVs here. So the TV they had there was an Emerson that we had it plugged into. So I just took one of the Hisense from here. We swapped, and I brought it back to plug it in so the grandkids can use the Wii and play Mario or Sonic, whatever on it. And found out later on that, when they were putting it in there, you go, oh, it has the ports down here on the bottom. My son found it because he picked it up, was turning it upside down and stuff. But yeah, there's stuff on TVs that we don't know about.
Yep, lots.
But if there is a wide border around it, it's got, and there'll usually be a dot for the camera. Which brings me to another point here now. There are plenty of videos out here about this. People going into an Airbnb or a vacation rental or even just hotel rooms and finding cameras in the shower.
Yeah, little mini cameras, itty bitties. Yep.
Little itty bitty things.
They're generally hooked. Those are the ones they generally have. Oh, and there's Wi-Fi here, and here's the password because those are routed through it.
Yeah.
So,
but there's I mean, it's like, I've watched several videos on that, and it's just, the one lady went in there, went and bought a thing. I'll show it to you here in a minute here.
Yeah, it's like a pen.
A little bit bigger than a pen. It's hang on here. Let me just bring it up here. I put it under. I'm not sure if I saved one already, so let me take a look at my tactical wish list. Yes, I have a wish list called Tactical.
Oh.
And I got all the other cameras, the driveway ones. Nope, I didn't put that in here. So let me go back up here, and
yeah, it's like it detects the Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah,
microphones, and it's basically like from back in the days of James Bond, where they're checking for bugs in the room. And they swipe it around, it beeps, and they're like, "Oh, there's a little tiny microdot bug."
Yeah. Some of these things here, like this $19 one. And there were some other ones that were a little bit bigger that they had, like this one here, a little bit bigger here. You see, they get a little bit bigger here, and the bigger ones will detect the ones that don't have Wi-Fi, that are wired. They'll detect those as well. And she was going around, and she had her cell phone. And, okay, here's one right here. Pull out a piece of duct tape and rubbed it on there really good. And because then it's sticking to the lens too, and trying to clean the duct tape off the lens is practically impossible. And she found something like, what was it, 36 or 7?
Jeez.
Yes. There were 3 in the shower.
Wow.
There was one up in the vent above the shower. There was one on the. There was a one of those brackets up there to hang a washcloth on. Well, one of the screws on it was a camera.
Wow.
Yeah.
This person really wanted to record people's personal crap.
And there's the clock in the room. Well, if you look at a clock, sometimes they'll have they'll have a sensor there on it. So when the lights go off, the light dims a little on the face of the clock will dim a little bit, and it'll come back up and light. Well, one had 2 of those on there. One was a camera.
Mm.
Hey, mother.
And what's the owner going to say when you sit there and talk to one of them and go, "Hey, you such and such bleepity bleep. Guess what? Your reviews just went in the toilet, but I'm going to stay here for the next 2 nights because I paid for it, and you're getting duct tape on it. And if you steal them, what are they going to do? Say you stole stuff from their house? What'd I steal? Look, the camera. Yeah, I stole your cameras."
Well, see, that's why she just went around and put duct tape on everything, because, it basically kind of ruined the camera. And just, it gave privacy. But she went around and found this annoying a number. And they said the same thing, like, staying in even stuff like Motel 6. People have found cameras.
Behind the mirrors. Yeah.
Not behind the mirrors. All right. So you have the bed at the foot of the bed. against the wall is where the TV is usually, so you can watch TV from bed. And there's a little light fixture above it on the wall. In the light fixture, one of the screws there is a camera. So if you're watching, something you're not, or say if you're watching porn and having a good time for that, they're watching you having a good time too. Or if you're in there for a honeymoon, they're watching you have a good time in the bed.
Yeah, and recording it and selling it off to one of the sites and making money off of it.
Yeah. And checked out, yeah, you can report that to law enforcement all the way around. And if it's an Airbnb one, Airbnb wants to know, especially if there's one in the shower. They will boot those people. They will boot those people off and put the word out so that to the other sites like Airbnb, they report these things to each other. So if someone tries to jump from when they get booted from one, they try to jump to the other. Sorry, you're blacklisted.
So
I had address is done on it.
I had Ring at my mother-in-law's house when she was here, and then she passed, but I kept it there anyway. And then we put the house on the market, and I still had the Ring active. I had one on the porch. I had one inside, literally, it was zip tied to a curtain rod with the plug running down the wall, plugged in the wall. And then the outdoor one and the porch one, and they had sound in that. So I could tell when people were coming up to the door, if somebody's trying to deliver. Well, then we put the house on the market, and I told my realtor, I was like, look, I got this. He's like, you got one inside? I was like, yeah, it's right there. He's like, oh, it's in plain view. Now, when it was active, a little red light turned on, so I put a little piece of black tape over the light, and then I added one more camera, and it was in plain view, and we actually didn't sell the house to one couple because the realtor they brought in there, they're like, oh, we can get him for this and this and this and this, and we can knock it down like 40 grand and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, what a great idea. Yeah. And then when they put an offer in, like I saw him on the phone, I heard him on the phone, and they called in to put an offer in, and he called me. He's like, what do you want to do? I was like, I said a couple expletives, and then I told him, I let him listen to it. He's like, oh, screw that.
Yeah.
So, nope, you're not getting the house. Sorry. We don't accept your offer.
Yeah.
It was kind of creepy to watch people walk in the house and talk about things and that. It's like, yeah, this is kind of wrong, but you know what? It's my house.
Yeah.
And they're not exactly hidden. They just didn't really pay attention or care.
Here's the size of some of these ones, really small around these, compared to some of the ones you'll find that are used by Airbnb, people and things are a lot smaller than this. But, you can get decent sized ones. Here's one getting a little bit smaller, but yeah. There's a bunch of different ones. Plus, you can get the, hang on, let me see if I find it. Let's see.
You can get ones that look like a smoke detector. Yep.
Yeah, there you go, right there.
Yep.
You got a little itty bitty one there. Boom. So I mean, it's the small ones like that are hard to find.
Oh, you can find it. You're just not going to find it on Amazon.
Well, this is on Amazon.
I know. You're going to find smaller ones. You're just not going to find them on Amazon. You got to go some of these
No, when I said hard to find, I mean it's hard for people to find because some of these, it just looks like another one of the little section vents, and it's the camera where you think it's one of the vents for detecting the smoke and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So and that's the thing too. If you have I have a secondary phone here that is not a phone.
It's a video camera.
It's not what I use for my video camera. So I just use this as a video. It's cheaper than other video cameras, and plus it has the high speed or time lapse built into it, so it saves me time for doing time lapse stuff. But you can get those even though it's not a doesn't have the chip in it. I'm having a brain fart here. Ah,
Oh, the SIM card.
SIM card, yes. The SIM card, yeah. Like it says right here.
No
No
SIM.
SIM, no SIM card. But it has Wi-Fi. And if I had a Wi-Fi phone, had an internet phone system, a VoIP phone system, I could tag onto it and use this as a phone in the house.
Yeah,
So
you can just leave it there. Yeah,
yeah,
I've done that with my my one phone and my iPad. I'll actually call my iPad on a whatever video call, but I'll mount the iPad to the top of my cap on my pickup. So as I'm backing up, I can hook up to the trailer without slamming it into the bumper.
yeah. Well, you using a phone like this, I can go into a place and search for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi signals in the room.
Yeah.
And then I can, oh, there's a Bluetooth signal here, and I can tap into it. Oh, it's a camera, and I can see where it's looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably reports back to China too, there, Jack. Oh, Moon over Miami's here. But yeah, so I mean, there are cameras, more cameras and stuff spying you. And here's the bad thing: if you're say in a Starbucks and you're using your own built-in SIM card, cell communications, and not going through the Starbucks network, because you can buy a little card that slides into your laptop, and basically it works on your cell provider. And if you have one of those unlimited internet, download things and everything on it, that's what you use. What it can do is these cameras, they can look down and see what you're typing, what you're doing. And if you have your computer set up where you got to log into it or do the coder, they can see you typing on the keyboard your 4-digit PIN to activate your computer. And if somebody other than Starbucks put these cameras in there, like the cleaning crew at night, and they see you come in every day at certain times, then they go out and put a tag on your car or whatever and know where you're going, and they can track you down and stuff like that. Either steal your stuff, break into your computer, to use your computer to access your account at night, break into your house, get your computer, get into your computer, into your bank accounts, and transfer money. And they'll say, it came from your computer, you did it. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's one of the things I hate about online transfers. So, and that's one of the things. One of the programs they try to put on your computers is a keystroker. So whatever you type in, it gives them a display of what you're typing into, and what mouse you're using it. Years ago, pre 9/11, I was helping Bank of America upgrade their whole campus there in Concord, their main data center, for security, for getting ready for Y2K. And they were having problems. Couldn't figure out what the problems were. And I was going around, I noticed everybody was using wireless mice and wireless keyboards. And it wasn't part of my job, but I went over and I talked to the head of their corporate security guy and said, hey, you got a problem here. And went to one of the floors they were having data coming up missing from and stuff. They were suspecting employees. No, the employees were at fault, but not because they were being bad, because they were being stupid. And they requested, and IT, being even more stupid, gave them wireless keyboards and mice. And there were people outside in trucks. There were 4 big buildings, and they were, receiving this data just off the regular Bluetooth hookup of the wireless mice and stuff, and they were picking the stuff up. And so it's simple things like that. Here, I use wireless here because, let's see, the nearest house is half a block away, and they got a bunch of big mean dogs in there, and they're dumb and they don't know how to use computers practically. And anybody else comes and parks on our street immediately get investigated by the 3 people living on the street.
That's all right. I'm just flying over your house right now, just sucking up all your data.
Oh, hang on a second. Tracker on.
Here comes the missiles. Look out.
Launch missile.
You know the government has that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's Bluetooth, there's Wi-Fi, and there's something called Z-Wave, which I haven't done much looking into, which is the next thing I got to do for the connectivity for some of these cameras is on Z-Wave. But then if you have, like Jack was saying, he has all his cameras on over his house on an app that he can access it when he's up here in Idaho. You got to be careful, because if someone figures out that, oh, you've got a program on your phone, they can backdoor in and see, oh, okay, you're in Idaho. Wait a minute, your house is down there in Florida. Mm-hmm. Hey, we're making a road trip to Florida. Because we can see everything going on in his house and what's going on there. And people that are smart enough to do that are also smart enough to do a loop.
Well, Ring keeps all your stuff forever.
Yeah.
So police can, if there was a crime in a neighborhood, they can just walk around and see who has a Ring doorbell, and they can just call. They don't have to ask the customer. They just call Ring and give them the address, and they can give them the videos. Because there's some whack job law that allows them to do that in certain states.
And Ring has to agree to it. Ring
and they do.
But they don't.
Because, we're going to be compliant. Well, no problem. We can give you all this stuff.
The other thing about that is, if you have indoor cameras to keep an eye on your kids while you're at work.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Come on. Back in the day, my neighbor, I had a scanner. I bought the last model year of the realistic scanner that was up into the 900 megahertz range, like the last of the good ones. I paid big money for that thing. I still have it. We used to listen to the police. We were listening to lawyers' conversations, like, opposing lawyers talking about the case. And then I'm tuning in whatever frequencies, and all of a sudden I'm hearing talking. I'm like, what is that? And then I recognize it. It was my neighbor's baby monitor. And this was back in, mid to late 90s. And the monitor was on a open frequency. And I'm like, my wife was looking at me, and they were talking about, how, Valentine's Day and all this stuff is just a scam and that. And we'll still talk about that to this day. But I was like, really? She's like, why are we listening to this? I was like, it tuned in because I put it on auto tune, and it just all of a sudden popped up with a strong signal. I'm like, great, I can listen to my neighbors talk. I wonder what they're saying about me. He didn't cut his grass this week, of course.
Yeah. So there is a lot of software out. I mean, there is so much friggin' software out there. You can do your own deep dive. But if
go on a dark web, I'm sure if you go on a dark web, you can find anything you want, period. Did you freeze? You froze. Wow, I said dark web and you froze. Holy crap. Okay, it's my fault, people. Sorry. Wow. Big freeze. Iceman. Uh-oh. It might just be me running the show here shortly. That's frightening because I'm watching all of you. Just kidding. Yeah, you're big froze. It must be that government program he's got in one of his phones that's monitoring, saying, you can't talk about that. You're giving away our secrets. I could say all kinds of fun stuff now. He'll have to go back and watch his own replay to hear me talking about him. Gil, wake up. Yeah, I haven't fired up my my scanner in a while. The antenna broke. I'm still trying to find a replacement for it. I could pick up all kinds of stuff on that, but these days all the cell phones are scrambled, so you can't hear cell phones. And I can still hear, I guess, the fire departments and that, but they keep changing their frequencies around, and a lot of that's all digital now, so you can't really hear much of anything. I can get a lot of ham stuff, but I bought that scanner in 98 or 99, and it was the last year that they made these scanners that would receive up into the 990 megahertz range, and then they outlawed it, and they couldn't sell them like that anymore. So I still got one. Not going to sell it anytime soon, but I need a new antenna for it is what I need. And why do I have a feeling Gil's about to drop out and end the show and start a new one, or not? It's 8:51, so there he is. Just me. I called it. I'm still here. He might come back. Come on, Gil. You can do it. I'm watching on my phone here, so I know it's still active. Yeah, Kaylin. There's not many of those scanners left out there, and the ones that have them, don't talk about it. I have a there he is. You're back. Oh man. Now you have to go listen to the replay and hear all the bad things I said about you.
My router actually froze.
Now you have to, can you hear me?
I had to turn it off, turn it back on, and wait for it to go through its cycle and bring me back in.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Oh, okay. Now you have to go back and watch your replay to hear all the bad things I said about you.
Mm-hmm. or I'll just call my buddies at DHS right now and say, hey, what was he saying about me 2 minutes ago?
As soon as I mentioned, I forget what I even said. I said something and boom, you locked up. I was like, ooh, they didn't like that. They locked his ass down.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to get the city to put out to everybody here to, if you're interested in the one company here of bringing fiber optics into the city, go to their website and say, hey, yes, we're interested, because I know like me and I know at least 12 other people at least that I've seen just driving around have fiber Fiber1, Fibercom. Hang on here.
See, I picked up on they ran fiber in our neighborhood.
Yeah, Fibercom is the company here. And Fibercom said, hey, if you get a bunch of people that want it, when we bring it in, we don't charge you a hookup fee because you're already a customer. So I know there's at least 12 people that I know of that are already customers of Fibercom. And we got the radio transmitter one. So it's fiber optics to the water tower across the highway for Firth. And they got their thing up there. So all our things either aim there or they aim into Shelley, which also has it. And just every now and then, this thing here just, it's like, turn off, turn on. I'm not sure if this thing's getting old or not, but I may need to upgrade this as well. But if we can bring it into the city, then instead of having this radio internet hookup, which is way faster than DHL, and
I
it
mean
will be on fiber.
DHL or FedEx? Oh, you mean DSL?
DSL. No, DHL. DSL is just as fast as DHL.
Yeah, and FedEx and UPS and
Yeah,
USPS.
but
maybe a little slower.
Yeah, there is a lot of problems with if you have the security cameras in and around your home accessible by the web. They're no matter. I don't care what the company says.
Yeah,
it can be hacked easily by the guys that know how to do it. And
I just picked up an Arlo system. I have Arlo, but all my batteries are getting bad, and that was through the Arlo router. It has a separate router for it, but the new ones I bought go right to the Wi-Fi. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, I bought them. I got 4 cameras. They're for outside, and right now I have no cameras outside. I mean, I got a couple with dead batteries in them, but the batteries won't charge anymore. And that service was free through them. You know, when I bought the camera, it came with the service, and it's still active. It's forever. But the other one I have to pay for per camera. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess at some point I'll put 1 or 2 outside there and pay for that. It's all on the same app. It just adds cameras to it.
Okay, so let me go ahead and take this out here. So coming up here, that times I need to say what's coming up here. On Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound, we're going to be talking about dehydrating or canning, talking about choices and stuff. And of course, Mark's going to talk about, wait, what about freeze drying?
No, I never say that.
He's going to pop in because there are some things you want to do one thing with, and some things you want to do something else with, and some things you can do all 3 with, but it's better to do a particular one. That's what we're going to talk about. Tuesday here on Tactical Tuesday, the topic is ready for Halloween. We're talking about the safety aspect of Halloween, as far as if you have little ones or grandkids or whatever out trick or treating, you're checking the candy and stuff like that. Individual safety of the kids, their situational awareness. I know kids and candy and making them think. That doesn't go together. Yeah, kids and candy, thinking. No, they don't. It just doesn't happen. So that's what we're going to be talking about on Tuesday. Okay, this is a short one. Midnight Ride is Halloween night, and we're going to talk. I'm going to try to bring up a bunch of footage of from the fake Facebook Reels and some of the YouTube stuff here on some of the cool yards that are out there where people are have been decorating their yard. See what else, and then talk all Halloween stuff, fun stuff. Friday on Camp Patton Family Compound is winterizing your garden. And considering all I have out there now are 3 winterized crops anyways, but I'm going to talk about winterizing your garden. Of course, for those down in Florida,
how the hell with you?
They're just planting and getting their tomatoes to set because this is their growing season because it's cool enough for the tomatoes and stuff to grow without dying in the summer heat.
Yeah, the hell with you. My tomatoes are done.
And let's see here. Then next Saturday. Oh yeah, I've had this on here now for about 8 weeks. It's been on the schedule, but you can see how apropos it is right now. Get ready for another panic run on supplies.
Mm-hmm. In about what, 10 days? 11 days.
And a little bit more than that. So that's what next Saturday is. The following Tactical Tuesday on the 5th is get ready for stupidity election results.
Yeah.
So that's some of the stuff coming up. But since this is Gray Man Prepping, I need 125 more subscribers. See if you guys can share it out and stuff. I'm thinking about throwing a little contest in here for existing subscribers for some gifts for the 2,000 subscriber giveaway. I'll know for sure by Tuesday, and I'll let you guys know on Tuesday what I figure out on that. But Camp Pat and Family Compound needs 5 more subscribers for the 5,500. I can do that giveaway. Coming up on November 12th, and I'm working my butt off for this, folks, is the topic on November 12th here for Tactical Tuesday. I may have to put it back so I can finish one of the other books, but it is my novels and how you can get one for free. And so I'm trying to get part 2 of Against the Wind and part 2 or book 2 of The Scout and the Ninja finished by then. And so so I'll be giving away some soft copies, some unfortunately they're locked, non-printable Adobe PDFs that you can read, but you can't print, copy, or do anything else with.
I can screenshot it.
You're gonna screenshot 460 pages?
Absolutely. No, I'll just use my other phone and video the screen as I'm scrolling page to page, and then I'm just kidding.
So those are some of the things coming up here, and there it is. I'm winterizing my garden right now, my best growing season. Anyways, so I can tell you one person here is going to get a free copy, and that's going to be Kaylin, because she got a free copy of the book 1 of The Scout and the Ninja. The Scout is Trustworthy, and I probably added 30 pages to that to get in continuity with the other books, added stuff to it. So there's a lot more information added to that one. So, and if you're a romantic, you want Scout and the Ninja. If you want a lot of action with little romance, you want Against the Wind, or you want The Family Compound, which I started before I came up to Idaho. The Family Compound I started 3 years before I started coming up to Idaho, writing out the stuff for it, and it was already named. So it wasn't named for Camp Pat and Family Compound, no. All right, folks, thank you for coming in and checking out and hanging around while we discuss this stuff. Once again, if you're thinking about putting indoor cameras in your house, go with wired. Go with wired and don't go internet access on them.
Yeah, go old school. Hook it up to get one of those. I forget what they call it. It was the CCTV. That's it.
Yeah, the multiplexer that has the hard drive in it.
Yep.
But yeah. Take care of what you download to your computers, to your phones, and double check the apps and stuff on it through like if you're gonna keep in this app that says it's from the brand of your phone, call them up and say, hey, are you sending me this message or is this a scammer? Sometimes it'll be a scammer and they want to know that.
No, I don't respond to any of that crap.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Stay happy. Don't let life get you down. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps. Water, food, medicine, clothing. Learn a new skill. Plant an indoor garden now. So by January 1st, you can start harvesting stuff because that begins the Indoor Garden Challenge. And we'll see you on Monday over on Camp Pat and Family Compound. Take care.
Sweet. Trick or treat.